I was gonna speak. En deze video is in Engels trouwens. Een video en niet Engels meer doen. If you hear me speaking a strange language in between my videos, it's my language from the Amazon jungle. I'm African from Amazon jungle. Phenotype African from Amazon jungle. I was gonna speak on it because I see many confusion when this so-called continental African or so-called black Americans see my video. Yeah, there is blue and this thing, and now it's just the example I was giving. If you have two hands, these so-called people think and your hands belong to them, your legs belong to them, so they are all going around doing what the colonizer was doing. I'm your big brother. If you are big brother, why didn't you defend your country? And it was colonized and destroyed and enslaved. I defended mine. I have my own country. Autonomous country. Let's leave it at that. I was gonna show you phenotype because if they see an African, if somebody say there is an African on the North Pole, they will say, and this is from Caucasian science standpoint, there is an African on the North Pole. How do you know there is an African there? Well, I see someone with colored skin and afro hair. Oh, it's an African. Is it the West African or the Bushman African with the peppercorn hair? Because the most African you are, when I say African phenotype, you have the more peppercorn, smaller your curl on your head is, the more so-called African you are in science. The bigger curl you have, like Zwarte Piet, it shows people that you are probably mixed with something else. Whatever it is your business. What if you go out there and you sleep with an animal does not mean that that animal is now my people. That's what I'm saying. If you go out there and mix with a maggot does not mean that maggots have become my people. Yeah, real talk. Phenotype is just the way you look. Yeah, if you go to Papua, the afro of the Papua is the biggest afro. Let me see if I have afro Papua here. Because these people claim to be afro. I am the real. Afro is a phenotype for African. Yeah. If you didn't know that, go back to your school or whatever. Let them teach you. Let me see it here. I'm looking for, maybe I can find Afro Papua. Afro. We will see if I find a real Papua picture here. We'll see. Okay, let me take this one quick. There is even bigger afro of the Papua, but I'm gonna use this one because it's just to give an example of what I mean with the phenotype thing. These people are confused about, man. It's not confusion. They get money from the political parties to go out and cause confusion, just like in the slave days. That's why I'm making the videos that the people who are claiming they want reparation are the ones who are in the army of the Caucasian. That's why when they see my videos with blue things, they think it's of the Caucasian, just like they would say, and the Europeans are the owner of America. That's what I mean. When they see Ankh and cross in my video, it's just like saying the European is the owner of the Americas. That's what you're telling me. He is someone like me who has real ethnicity from beginning of time. All the other things is made up. You're not my people. You stupid. People with 30-40% Caucasian will come out. You are my, then you stupid, then Caucasian are Okhano and Africans and all those things. Can I become mixed like you with 30% Caucasian blood, Tariq Nasheed? No, so you cannot become me. 1 + 2 is 3, 2 + 1 is 3. You are a different species altogether, and we will see it right now. Negro. let's see it here. So, Bob. See here? Oh, let me check it. I just found I was gonna place the Papua one, so show you that one first, so we can check it immediately. Let's see it here. Boom. You see here? That is the Papua, and there is Papua even with real bigger afro than this. Do you have more afro than these people? They are black, right? So they build the pyramids. Yeah. Don't they look like the Australian Aboriginal? Don't they look like Native Americans to you? You stupid one. Move on, man. Yeah, Afro simply means you look like an African is a phenotype, somebody with color skin and an Afro curly hair. That's why Columbus was saying he thought he was in India, because if you go to spaces where India is, Java, Indonesia, these are the Africans you're gonna see over there. But the Caucasian will say, these are not African, it's a Papua. Just like I'm saying, I am not a Negro, I am Okano. You stupid one. That's why I'm saying I'm not Afro, because Afro is a hair texture. If you say you are Afro, well, fine. Then the Papuas are the one who built the pyramids. If Afro people, Africans build the pyramids, or if you say Afro is only Black Americans, because these people say in the 1940s the Black Americans used. So these dumb Black Americans and these so-called Americans think because they claim something, it would be so. You are a slave colony. You are nothing to us over here. That's what they don't understand, that they are nothing. Not to me, they are not. I've shown it in many videos. Yeah. To me, these Black Americans and so-called Americans, Donald Trump, they are a slave colony. They are slaves. Yes, these are slaves going around making up stories because they have no ancestry. Their history is from 250 years ago. Yeah, my history started, they say, according to them, 7 million years ago. Yeah, let me see if I can find Lucia from South America immediately, so that we can see whom is the first one in America. They say according to mainstream science, not according to what I'm saying. So let's see. So this is the Papua when you come out here saying you Afro. If you are Afro, the Papua, these people are the one who created your hip hop. These are the one who created jazz, because they are Afro. That's the world you live in that you don't understand when you're stupid. Yeah, this is African phenotype. That's why it's called Afro, is a variation from the African, Afar people. That's why this guy is saying he's Farrakhan, because these Afar are from North Africa. Yeah, that's why these people are saying they are Asiatic black men, this nation of Islam. These people here that you see here are Asiatic black people. Afro-Asiatics, African Asiatics. You stupid one. All these things you think you do in Tariq Nasheed, you and you American bunch, it's slavery you have created for yourself. It's already done. You're only the one that don't understand that you're not even sitting duck, you are cooking ducks. You're not even sitting ducks, you are cooking ducks. Everything that happened to your ancestors is just created it all over again. Yeah. And you will go there back into your chains, nigga. Real talk. Let's skip to the next, man. So this is the so-called Black Americans. But if you look this, I was watching this, and if this is the so-called African American, and with 30% Caucasian blood, then what is Wesley Snipes? And this girl who are playing tennis, Williams, the sister Williams, what are they? That's why Williams is trying to bleach her skin, because when she watch television, they will show her, this is an African from America. When Columbus was not even in the United States, he was in Haiti, Española. So everything is a conglomerate of lies. They just lying away. And Tariq Nasheed and his boss they have copied their colonized father so much that they are doing the same thing, causing people out and then act like they are the victim. All those things are over. Anybody now, if a Caucasian victimize a Black American right now, nobody will feel pity for them except for Black Americans. Nobody out there will feel any pity these days for George Floyd. You stupid. You are a qualified racist when you use your so-called power that you have gained from the colonizer to attack people in the media, pumping money to attack other races. You are a racist. Because a racist is one who has the power to attack other people with the means, the resources they got. Before this, you could not be a racist, Black Americans, because you had no resources. But these days, you have resources, pumping videos on internet, and you even had the resources and power to claim that you are a different and foundational Black Americans. So you are now growing up in the world and you are a racist because you have resources attacking Africans and Caribbeans. Yeah, that's the real talk. So if this is the Black American, these people are not my race. Because this is clearly a mulatto or a quatron. This is a mixed people. So you're living in a delusional state. So, and if this is a real African or a real Afro, then these people can go to Africa and say, Africa is now of mixed people. Then these Moroccan people are the real Africans because they are more mixed than these people over here. Stupid one. Then Africa is of these Ethiopians of today who are all mixed. They are not mixed with Arab. They are the real Africans. Yeah. So this is Lucia from Brazil. This is the first Brazilian ever existed, Black Indian. Yeah, right? When Columbus said he came there, he saw this black. That's why I was saying their father is African, just like I showed you the Papua just now. You see that? You see they have curly hair, just like Zwarte Piet. They are mixed. That's what this Caucasian is saying. This is not what I'm saying. This is your mainstream and academia. I'm from the jungle of Amazon. My phenotype is African. When I say I'm African, does not mean I'm from a place or continent called African. That is for continental African to understand it in their own way. Yeah, because I will show you how many phenotypes African there are on the planet. I've just shown you one, the Papua. The Papua is the Asiatic African, Afro-Asiatic, just like these Moroccan people are being called Afro-Asiatic because they are African mixed with Asiatic, straight hair people, Turkish people. These Moroccan people are just mixed with French people, but the Turkish people are a French people. It's the same peninsula. Just like you have Niger, Congo, you have here this Asia Minor and all those things, but whatever. So this is the first people they say of America, South America, Lucia. When you hear they speak about Lucia, when I say Black Indian, this if you go to where I live, Galibi, you will find this type of people there. Because they are mixed with Africans, with the straight hair Canadian and Native American, Mongoloid and Chinese style and people from Canada, the straight hair Native American. That's what I'm saying. That's maybe even this one because this guy who wrote the book, they came before Columbus, is from Guyana. Because these are the people who you will see this kind of people, even you will see the straight hair Native American and these Black Indians there. Sambo. And the picture is even made to the curl even too big one because the Sambo have even smaller curls. Because this is Zwarte Piet. Yeah, these are the people of South America when people are coming in. When I'm saying they brought these so-called Africans to America and South America, but there were already people living in the jungle. These so-called Africans who were brought there when they're mixing with these so-called Sambo and these straight hair Native Americans. And then you get this kind of people just like you have on Java. Just like you saw the Papua, on Papua you have the Japanese people that the Caucasian brought in Suriname there. Their ancestors of these Moluccas and those people is the Papua. These Moluccas people, if you know Moluccu people, their ancestors is Papua. It's just these Asiatic Africans. That's why they look different. Are you their race? Because you have black color like this woman does? Is this your race now because she's got the same color? Yeah, but she's clearly mixed, so she could be part of our race. So what? If she's part of your race, if you have a baby with a maggot, is that maggot and his race now part of your race because you had a baby with the maggot? Are you the same color? Are you the piece of shit because you are the same color as the piece of shit? You play soccer like Messi because you also got two legs? Can you play basketball like Michael Jordan because you also got two hands and two arms? Can you think like Einstein because you have a brain? Supposedly in your head, you were supposed to have something called brain. You clearly don't have your FBA. Yeah. So all you coming together, why can you not come together and just be on your own? Yeah, if these people don't want to be Pan-African with us, we're gonna attack them. You are the colonizer. You are doing nothing else than these black hunters. Coming out here think you're gonna fight anyone. Not here. I don't need to see you to do what I do. So this is Lucia and from the so-called oldest people from Brazil. When did these people come out here speaking all this foolishness? You see that? That is the so-called Black Americans and the Lucia. And then you see that they are mixed, right? You can see that they are both mixed. And that's what I was saying. How can this African American then be my people? I'm from South American jungle. I don't have this 30% Caucasian blood. I don't know how it is to have a Caucasian mother or Caucasian father like you do in your daily life. Real talk, your experience of this life is different than mine. That's the real talk. Yeah, don't kid yourself. Yeah, this is Lucy. You see the name there, Lucia woman. This is a drawing, Lucia woman recreation. Lucia woman's called Brazil. You that? I'm from Brazil. Negro. Yeah. And so this is the phenotype, the thing I was speaking on. You can see it here. You see that? Because this guy from the continent was saying, I am the real African, I'm from the continent. Well, then you must be a mixed people because all these people are African phenotype. I will show you them. All this part, these few people you see here. There is no single African phenotype. Africa is the most genetically and physically diverse continent on earth. What? There is no single African phenotype. Africa is the most genetically and physically diverse continent on Earth. Indigenous African populations exhibit a vast range of physical traits, including skin tone, height, facial structure, and hair texture, shaped by deep evolutionary history, local climate adaptations, and distinct ancestral lineages. You see that? How can you come out here and say, I come from the continent, I'm the real African? Well, all these people are not, they're not real Africans because they are from the continent called African and they don't look like me. You see this craziness? Here, high diversity across regions. West and Central Africa population often feature darker skin pigmentation, tightly coiled or kinky hair. You see what I was saying? More peppercorn style hair. You see? Even the Caucasian know that tightly curled or kinky hair. Kingly hair. This kinky hair is kingly hair. You see that? And broad nasal features. Traits historically adaptive to dense, humid tropical forests. See, East Africa population vary widely. For example, Nilotic groups tends to have very tall, slender statures and dark skin suited to open, hot grasslands, while other groups such as Ethiopian profiles can feature taller, linear frames and different nasal facial proportions. You see that? This guy, and I'm saying this to this guy who was saying he's the real African because he is from the continent. Do you look like this East African? Who is the real African, you or the East African? Who is the real African, the peppercorn bushman of South Africa or you? All these people are just looking for somebody who they think is weaker than they are to attack, just like the FBA. They are all FBA. All these Pan-Africanist people are all FBA. They are all the colonizer going around. I'm Pan-Africanist, give me money, man. They think everybody is as stupid as their relatives. Because only if you have experienced this level of stupidity around you, around your own people, you will think other people might have the same stupidity with them and go out there and propagate what you're doing, like this Umar Johnson, Polite, and all these people coming out here. I'm Pan-African. Yeah, give me money, man. Even this think tank and these Israelites, they are all doing the same thing. Who was the first one who came out saying, telling people to hate Africans? Israelites. I have the videos. Maybe one of these days I will show you one of these few videos about that, man. Because it was about the part, ye Ethiopians also ye Ethiopian also I shall slay with my sword. And I was explaining to them that in those days Ethiopians was just simple the phenotype for African. So you could say, you Negroes also shall be slain by my sword. You Africans also shall be slain by my sword, if it was back in the days. Just like you claiming all to be Afro now. We are all Afro. We are all Africans. So everybody wants to force people to be part of them, like the LGBT stuff here. Everybody needs to be LGBT, otherwise they will attack you. Everybody needs to be FBA, or they will attack you. In Suriname is the same thing. Everybody needs to be NDP and mixed, or they will attack you if you are not mixed like they are. Everybody has to be coolie like VAP, or they will attack you. Everybody has to be like this and Caucasian here, and the white is all right, or they will attack you. So you are all the same. You see that? That's why I am Okhano. Your God can never be my God. You cannot be fighting against my people for 500 years, but we have the same God. Are you stupid? That's the same thing like your own people sold you into slavery. Why didn't they sell their direct brothers and sisters? Those people who sold you and Joseph into slavery in the Bible are not his brother. Those are devil disguised as his brother. Why didn't they sell themselves? If they saw Joseph as themselves, they would have sold themselves. They didn't do that because they saw him as something or somebody different. Do not kid yourself. This I have black skin. Yeah, I have black skin like this. Piece of shit is also black. Are you that piece of shit? Just saying. Real talk. So you see here, North Africa populations share deep historical, genetic, and phenotypic connection with both sub-Saharan Africa and the Mediterranean Middle East. This is what I mean. You see that? These North Africans are children of the so-called West Africans from Ghana Empire. Yeah. From where Mali is now Timbuktu. That's why when I speak about Ghana, I speak about Ghana Empire. This new Ghana of the day is just something new. Yeah. These people, many of them don't have, and I won't say the education, because if you go to the Caucasian, he will tell you whatever he likes to know, not what you need to know. Yeah, my people we have our own language, our own alphabet, we have our own writings. Move on, man. Oh yeah, when did we start seeing black people as separate groups? That was always like that. I must show, yeah, maybe I'll listen to a part of where they were speaking about it. Alright. Because it's a phenotype. It doesn't mean that you have to attack someone because they are not part of your group. If someone said, I'm Chinese, man, I'm not black, do you need to attack them because they are not black? That's what I mean. You have to be part of a group, a community. Otherwise, you don't belong. And and because I heard one of these Pan-African, we're gonna roll over whom? Your fantasy is just that fantasy, boy. Real talk. maybe many of these people hear me speaking, they think it's the fantasy of their ancestors. That's why I'm making it plain, you're not my ancestors, and I'm showing you the black hunters of you Negroes who are with the colonizer. You're not part of my race. The fuck on, man. It's stupid. If you are a real man and somebody tells you, hey, yo, I'm not part of your race, you would go to your own home. Only when there is nothing in your own home and you have no ability, you are weak on your own. Only lions walk alone. Hyenas walk in groups. That's why this Umar Johnson has to need group. This polite needed group. All of you need group and political parties to achieve anything. Give me money to build this school. Give me. But you are brilliant. If you're so brilliant, why can't you get the money without people giving you money? You are so great. If you are great, there is no space left for anything to join you. Because you are already great. Great means big, colossal. There is no space left for anything to come and join you because you're already great. But all these people saying they are great so-called people, they are devils in disguise going around. I am the greatest man. Give me money, man, to build it. I am the biggest man. I'm the toughest man. The Caucasian just let you out of jail. So they are delusional thinking because you have the same color as they do, that you have the same behavior and mentality as they do. Lying, because the devil is a liar. Enough said. Let's skip to the next part, man. Let's see here. Are the coolest oh, this was a part of the what the people were typing over there. Africans are ignorant too within the continent because they were colonized. Nipsey was East African. That's what I mean. Do you look like Nipsey Hussle if you are a real African? Because Nipsey Hussle is a real African. He's from the continent. These people are stupid. African is a phenotype. Alright. If you didn't know that, now you know. Go back to school, cause what y'all doing is, if these people were taken from Africa, then I'm their big brother. How? The people who were taken into slavery were growing up people. Only babies and old women were left behind on the continent of Africa, if the story is true. How could you be any big brother of any one of those people who were taken into slavery, were growing up and strong people who had to go and work on sugarcane plantations? The people who were left behind in Africa were little babies and old women who could not travel across the ocean, if the story is true. Because this is your narrative, not mine. I'm just showing you what is out there. Yeah, to the world science out here in Europe, these places, African is just a phenotype. It's not a place. It's a phenotype of a people. The Afar people or whatever, this Caucasian will see them. And if the Afar people live in their place is called Africa, Afarka, or whatever, that's what they doing. It's that simple. Yeah, but it was a Caucasian who wrote it down. So what? If you write something down that you are the king of the world, does it become true because you wrote it down? It was documented that this happened. So because somebody documented something, it became true. Then it's easy, man. Let me write down that the world is everything in the world is mine, man. Let me write it down and have people read it so it becomes true. Yeah, West Africans deserve reparation too. Black British is not an identity. This is what I was saying about. You see, Black British, anybody can claim to be Black British. See, coolies from India can get up and say, I'm black. All this dancehall music, I created that. You see that? Because they are black. The Dravidian is darker than any of these people. The Australian Aboriginal is darker than you are. The Papua is darker and has bigger afro than any African there. Only the Nilotic African from the continent there can challenge those people in darkness. But it's not even dark, it's dark blue. It's really blue, but anyway, that's another conversation. See that? Unsee of slavery said, and that is what I mean, that these sad people. This guy saw my video and went there and CEO versus Black Republican. No, you are the Black Republican, nigga. This is what I mean. They think everybody is as stupid as their race. This is one of Tariq Nasheed people. So the enslaver is now trying to say this guy there is the no, that's you. You are getting money from black MAGA teams to attack Africans. This guy was even attacking Haitian without any reason to get money for it. That's the same way you were selling so-called Africans and black people to get money for it. That's why you are the 5 civilized tribes, the black hunters. That's why I was showing you the black American as a mixed people there. You stupid one. As soon as you see people lying like this, you know they have no God, they are the devil, they have no core, they have no culture. Only a people without culture will lie. Real talk. Only if you have no culture will lie. And those who have no culture cannot understand this thing because they never had culture. Anything they know is what Caucasian and colonizer have told them and taught to their old fathers on the plantation. Yes, massa. Yes, massa. Real talk. No, I was not there. I was in the jungle. You are the black hunters, children of the Caucasian. Real talk. Why were Jamaican independence events so empty this year? Are you Jamaican, Tariq Nasheed? When you have no substance in your own home, you can only look across the street what is going on in Jamaican who have real men and real potential. In their house, you can find something going on. Why was the Jamaican event? They are not even your race, remember? How stupid is this Negro, man? Shameless devil. That is these black Americans. Real talk. All these things they were saying, the Caucasian is the devil. No, it's these people. They are just devil or more devil than the colonizer himself. Real talk. Because they are doing their bits. They have always done for 500 years. Because I know they was fighting against my people. in South America here. South Africa not prepared to lose foreign workers. Yeah, because now they are going hungry. I was gonna show a video even where South Africans are looting the stores, man. Yes, the South Africans are looting the stores, breaking the stores, stealing everything from the stores. See, we got erased. African American isn't an ethnic group anymore. Exactly. I'm glad. Thank God for that, man. I thank God that you are no longer African American, because I am the African phenotypically from the Americas. Columbus was in Haiti, not in the United States. Yeah, the United States started 250 years ago. In 1670, Njuka already existed before even the Netherlands. Yeah, in 1620, I already had treaty. You can only have treaty if you are native or indigenous to a place. Let's leave it at that. I destroyed the slave master in South America and they went to North America. Go and learn history, boy. Can never be the same. Check this, the truth. And this creator is openly telling Africans that were born in Scotland to go back to Africa. Exactly. You see that? Real talk. Nigga. They ain't beating around the bush like some would say. Muhammad was a Christian. This is Titan Steve. He used to be a friend of Sanetter back in the days, man. When Sanetter and this SETI guy used to come to England. This, so, you see, and Umar Johnson was trying to come up in those days. He was also coming up through Sanetter lines, and well, they are all, let's leave it at that, man. So you see this Papa, when you claim to be Afro, go and debunk this Papua that you are black. Go tell these Asiatic Africans that you are black and that you have more culture than they do. You stupid one. Get the... So let me check what videos I got. And I'm already on 30 minutes here, man. Checking this.
Why are people offended by calling the Leicester Carnival a black event?
Oh yeah,
Since making my video about the
This part was about this guy because they had an event, Carnival in England from the 80s, but it was about Jamaicans, just like Kwaku Amsterdam in the Netherlands. It was, they started Kwaku for so-called continental Africans and so-called enslaved and people from the diaspora, America, wherever, coming together. It was like that for 10 years, and then the Caucasian came and took it over. Now is a diversity Kwaku, but Ghana is against those things, but they still using the name Kwaku for that. Do Google Kwaku Amsterdam and you will see it. That is what these guys gonna complain about, that they had carnival in England with the Jamaicans, Trinidad people and all those people from the Caribbean. But now he was saying, hey, this black carnival that we have is a black event, and they were like, no, it's no longer a black event, it's for everybody, man. What? Yes, this black event is not a black event. Everybody must be included, otherwise they will fight you, just like they fight my channel on internet. They are all doing because they are cursed. I know they are cursed, that's why I keep speaking. Whether they hear or forbid, they are doomed. If I was not sure about that, I would stop and maybe fold like you folded. Real talk. Let's hear it. So he is not allowed to say that his carnival in England is a black event any longer. It must be, he must say it's for us all, man. So your culture must become of everybody, and their culture must be secret in Oranje Stad somewhere. Everybody can come into your home, but you are not allowed into their home. So you must understand that's how stupid they are. It's just like the Surinamese people who's telling me the Caucasian brought them there, these coolies and all those people, and then they expect from me to be like them and fight for them. But the country is of Native Americans who don't look like me. I can show you Lucia here. I show you Lucia. You see Lucia? This is the Papua, and look Lucia here. See that? But when you go when you speak about Native American, they will show you the Canadian Native American, the straight hair one, not this mixed one. But this mixed one is still there on Galibi where I live. They live straight next to me. They are Sambo, mixed Africans with this straight hair Native American from Canada, because below the equator is curly hair people. curly hair people. On both the equator is straight hair people, according to your science even. But I will leave it at that. And yeah, let's hear what this guy got to say. So they are fighting him because he said carnival in England is a black event. I told you. They will come and steal your stuff and give it to their children because they are cursed. Yeah, let's see.
Caribbean Carnival. One thing I've noticed is that why are people offended by calling the Leicester Carnival a black event? Since making my video about the Leicester Caribbean Carnival, one thing I've noticed is that how many people have taken issue with me describing it as a black Caribbean event. Some people hear the word black and immediately assume that I'm saying that white people shouldn't attend or take part. But that isn't what I said. I clearly stated that Carnival should welcome everybody. My concern was that black Caribbean people now appear to be underrepresented in a Leicester event built by the black Caribbean community. That isn't the same as saying anybody else should be excluded. An event can welcome every
Exactly, like I was saying about the Kwaku Festival in Amsterdam here in the Netherlands. It used to be Africans and so-called enslaved and ethnicity people from the diaspora. They would come there and play soccer together, bonding together. But everybody would be there. Caucasian was there playing music also. Hindus was there. But it was normal. But now it became official. They placed it on the pamphlets and the posters, like it has to become a mixed thing now because it has to be include everybody, otherwise they will fight you. So they're doing the same thing like Hitler was doing. If you did not look or participate with Hitler, he would fight you, right? These same LGBT people of today and liberals and secular people will fight you because you have God. I've even seen these anakas, but I don't care about you. Well, nobody cares about you. That's what I mean. They are delusional, living on stolen so-called Native American land, swearing on the Bible that they are children of God. How stupid must you be to believe those things? Anyway, so the truth doesn't matter to anyone any longer. It's feel good. As long as it feel good, you are allowed to do it. This guy is speaking the truth like, hey, this carnival is a black event. You're not allowed to say it. Fight him.
while still being rooted in a particular culture and calling the Leicester Carnival a black event. Why are people offended by calling the Leicester Carnival a black event? Since making my video about the Leicester Caribbean Carnival, one thing I've noticed is that how many people have taken issue with me describing it as a black Caribbean event. Some people hear the word black and immediately assume that I'm saying that white people shouldn't attend or take part. But that isn't what I said. I clearly stated that Carnival should welcome everybody. My concern was that black Caribbean people now appear to be underrepresented in a Leicester event built by the black Caribbean community. That isn't the same as saying anybody else should be excluded. An event can welcome everybody while still being rooted in a particular culture and history. Nobody says Diwali stops being a Hindu celebration because people of other faiths attend, and nobody says an Irish festival loses its identity because black or Asian people join in. So why does describing Leicester Caribbean Carnival as a black cultural event suddenly become controversial? Leicester Carnival didn't begin as a
because they are devils and think they own everything of so-called African phenotypically. Because I have to say that these days before somebody's come and say, I'm the real African from the continent or whatever. So I have to say phenotypically. You see that? You are not allowed to own anything. So they want to be in it. When they are tired of you, they will destroy it because they are now part of it. Are you allowed into the synagogue? No. Are you allowed into the mosque? No. None of their spaces you are allowed into, but they are allowed in all your spaces. Only a sucker will accept that, man. That's why my people live in Amazon jungle. They are real talk.
multicultural festival with no particular Asian people join in. So why does describing Leicester Caribbean Carnival as a black cultural event suddenly become controversial? Leicester Carnival didn't begin as a general multicultural festival with no particular roots. It was founded in 1985 by members of Leicester's black Caribbean community, and it was connected to the history of emancipation in the Caribbean. The founders wanted to bring people together, but integration shouldn't mean that the founding community gradually becomes less visible within its own event. The issue is why so few black Caribbean people appear to be involved in the troops. Instead of asking why that has happened, some people
But me, I'm not for no integration or whatever. If you wanna integrate, you go to Amsterdam. Yeah, in Amsterdam here, everybody live together, mix there in Rotterdam. Like in Suriname, I used to tell them, man, if you wanna mix, go to Paramaribo. Just like the Caucasian had it, it's the same way it was in the Bible. Everybody had their own city, their own town, their own country. Stay there. If you wanna go on vacation, you go on vacation and go back to your country. You don't have to go there and stay there bothering people, man. Don't you have anything at home to do? Don't you have any substance in your home? That becomes the question when you refuse to leave. Like, we all have to become Pan-African because they are stupid. They don't understand that you on to their scam. What Pan-Africanism is nothing else but colonizer doctrine going around congregating people. I'm uniting the people to tell them I'm your prince and I'm your king and I'm your boss, just like the colonizer was saying, I'm the children of God, we are the children of God, we are the king. It's the same thing, nothing less than a religion and like this Creflo dollar.
have acted as though mentioning race put together, but integration shouldn't mean that the founding community gradually becomes less visible within its own event. The issue is why so few black Caribbean people appear to be involved in the troops. Instead of asking why that has happened, some people have acted as though mentioning race is the real problem. One person even claimed that carnival in the Caribbean was never a black thing. Of course, Caribbean societies include people of African, Indian, European, Chinese, indigenous, and mixed heritage. Trinidad Carnival today includes people from many racial and cultural backgrounds and
You see, now you have to debate your own culture once you let these devils in. That's why Tariq Nasheed, I'm Maroon to no, you're not. You stupid, are you South American, African? No, done. Do you have your own language? No, done. Do you have original in ancient dishes that you eat? No. Do you eat my food? No. Yeah, they are eating bush meat. Every meat comes from the bush or the ocean. You stupid one. That's how stupid they are. Every meat you eat comes from the bush or from the ocean. Only in your society they have factories where they keep animals in chains just like they had you in chains like those animals. Chattel slavery. Yeah. Eating chitlins.
that diversity should be appear to be involved in the troops. Instead of asking why that has happened, some people have acted as though mentioning race is the real problem. One person even claimed that carnival in the Caribbean was never a black thing. Of course, Caribbean societies include people of African, Indian, European, Chinese, indigenous, and mixed heritage. Trinidad Carnival today includes people from many racial and cultural backgrounds, and that diversity should be recognized. But that doesn't mean race played no part in its history. Before emancipation, Trinidad's celebrations were dominated by the white elite, while Africans and mixed heritage people were legally excluded from the street festivities. White colonial society held private masquerade balls while enslaved and free Africans developed their own traditions involving drumming, masking, dance, satire, and stick fighting. After emancipation in 1838, formerly enslaved Africans were able to participate openly and help transform the carnival into a public expression of freedom. They mocked the colonial elite.
Do you hear him using Afro? No, because he's from back then. Everybody, if you look pure blood like he is, you are African. And they think you live in the jungle. That is America, I know. If you look pure blood like this guy, hey, there goes an African. Yeah, it's a phenotype.
Preserved African traditions and brought their own music, movement, and masquerade into the streets. Canbele became central to that development. It carried memories of enslavement, resistance, emancipation, and helped transform Carnival from an elite colonial celebration into something shaped by ordinary black people. Carnival doesn't exclusively belong to one race today, but it ignores a major part of the history to suggest black people, slavery, emancipation, and resistance weren't central to what it became. That history also matters when we look at Leicester. Leicester Carnival was built by members of the Black Caribbean community to preserve culture, recognize emancipation, and bring people together across the city. It was open to everyone, but it wasn't empty of cultural identity. That's why Black Caribbean underrepresentation should concern.
Exactly, because this carnival thing like Kwaku was to preserve culture of those so-called Africans from the Americas. But what will happen is to destroy your people, they have to destroy your culture and your language as the first thing. So they will throw all kind of people on your festival. You have to include everybody. And if you say, no, man, oh yeah, then it's forbidden for you to have this festival. So what they want is everybody will come onto your carnival, destroy it, and at the end they will kick you out of it. And then tell you 100 years later, it used to be us, just like I'm saying about the ant and the cross. They will join you in your so-called religion or your country and then kick you out of it. Just like in South Africa, they don't want to leave. They telling the South Africans, we built this country. We're not going anywhere. Just like this America. Even the Australian, they asked the Australian, they said, look, we are civilized people. You realize now that it was wrong to steal the land from the so-called Aboriginal. Would you give it back? And these days, no, we're not giving it back. There was even referendum for Australian Caucasian Europeans to give the land back to the so-called Aboriginal. They voted against it. But those are children of God, not my God. You stupid. Those who are killing my people, their God would be my God, then you stupid. You're stupid, man. Yeah.
If a community creates an event and after 40 years appears less involved in producing and shaping it, we should ask what barriers have developed. We should look at the cost of joining a troop, trading, attending as a family, and whether young generations feel represented. Instead, some people seem more offended by the observation than by the underrepresentation itself. They aren't asking why black families who once travelled across the Midlands may no longer attend in the same numbers. They aren't asking why local black young people may not see Carnival as something they can shape or inherit. They just ask, stop talking about race. But race is already part of the history. Slavery was racial. Colonialism was racial. The exclusion of Africans from Trinidad celebrations was racial. The Caribbean generation that built events like the Leicester Carnival also arrived in a Britain where they faced discrimination in housing, employment, and public life. Removing that context.
What did he say? Oh yeah, he just told you who was excluded from the celebration in the Americas. Africans. In Americas, you was not allowed to say you African. What is happening right now on the internet? You're not allowed to say it, right? That's the same thing they doing because African's name is coming too much in America. They stopping it. It's not allowed for anyone to know that there was African ever in the jungle of America because then they would not be able to go and steal the resources. Let's mix everything up, yeah. Then we can get close and come and live in the jungle. Because you cannot come and live in my society. No Umar Johnson can come and live in my society. It's real. It's not a joke. No James Moss or one of these Negro would come into never. You are a black hunter, man. Stupid. They think it's a joke. It's not a joke, Afro think tank. It's real. You have no history. Your history is from 250 years ago, like you have stated. Move on. You're not part of our race, man. Real talk.
Doesn't make Carnival more inclusive. It simply makes its origins harder to see. When I say Leicester Caribbean Carnival should remain centered around the black community, I'm not saying every dancer, organizer, trader, or audience member must be black. I'm saying that the community that created the event should remain strongly represented in its leadership, participation, music, economic opportunities, and future direction. Leicester Carnival can be rooted in Black Caribbean history and still be open to the whole city. It can honor the people who built it without excluding those.
Man, I don't know any black so-called African or so-called black European party where there is no Caucasian there with them. It was always like that. It was normal, even in the days when I was used to rap hip-hop and all those things when I was 15, 16. It was Caucasian people were just there with us on the parties, just participating, doing whatever they doing. But what is going on right now is it becomes like more like we're gonna take it over, just like, okay, now that we in like in North America, place Eminem as the god of hip hop. That's what we mean. You see that? So it's not Tupac is the god of hip hop. It's now Eminem and Tariq Nasheed, these bug broken fake black Americans. Columbus was never in the United States. You are a fake black American. He was in Haiti. So the only possible American if Columbus discovered America would be Haiti, Hispaniola, and Venezuela area Caribbean. Yeah. Tariq Nasheed foundational bug broken. What they doing is just taking over everything, and Tariq Nasheed and his bunch are helping them, thinking, but it's just like his ancestors. It's the same way his ancestors were killing Africans in the jungle in South America. Buffalo soldiers, black hunters. Look those names up. 5 civilized tribes. And these same Negroes like Umar Johnson, I'm a freedman. You think you're gonna close? No, nigga. You just do your things over there with city Negroes and plantation Negroes. That's the real talk. We have our own real king in these days. You stupid, we have real culture from beginning of days. All you Yoruba thing or Igbo thing is just for those people. I'm gonna call up Ogum. It's not possible. Ogum does not acknowledge you. Shango does not acknowledge you and your race. Stupid. every house has their own king and their own worker of God. You have no culture. That's why you're going around with colonizer God and colonizer culture. And these things you see in my video, if they are of the colonizer, America where you walk on is of the European colonizer. Right? Australia is of the European colonizer. They did not steal it. You stupid one. And you move on, man. Jealous is sickness. People are telling you they don't want you to be part of them. They don't engage you. You even said Africans come to North America. They don't want to engage you. And then you get mad making videos for 8 years. And delineating like a hurt bitch. A broken woman.
Those who joined later. This also matters for the future.
Caribbean heritage people know Caribbean heritage people. That's first and foremost.
Where?
Oh yeah, this girl is her name is Coley or Coley, and it's just like Cole. I mean black. That's why when they say Kuli from India, yeah, it has nothing to do with them. So these people are stupid. They have no language or they are pure evil devils. These coolies will come to Suriname and then come and tell me, my people, you're not allowed to say coolie when coolie is just a word in my language. Get the fuck on, man. But anyways, man, let's listen to this girl. It's about this Afro thing again. Let's hear it, man. Draw your own conclusion.
Jura, are you telling me as an African person what Caribbean people can and can't do as far as us recognizing each other?
Listen, can I tell you a question? My
No,
girlfriend...
answer my question.
Yeah.
It's not your show, it's mine. Answer my question.
Yeah. They can't.
They can't based off what? You're from where again?
He's not Latvish.
Jujua is from Ethiopia, but southern
He's
Ethiopia.
not Latvish.
I think he's
In Ethiopia, like most of them are like Habesha. Like he's not Habesha. He's a different tribe. Like he's not
but he's
Latvish.
Ethiopian.
He's like a minority
different
tribe.
ethnic group in the southern region of Ethiopia.
Jura, what is your tribe?
Anwak.
What?
Anuak.
Anwak.
Yeah.
But I just typed it up. We do not look like that, bro.
I know. ANUAK. Is this like how you look? Is that your phenotype? Is that
So you see this part? This guy is gonna say, because this is how they look, like, hey, you trying to shame me because this is not how I always look. They are portraying my people like this in the media, like we are ugly people. He's not saying it like that, but it came on to that. Like, that's why these black Americans will portray themselves like this. Not like this. This is Lucia from Brazil. You see that? This is what going on in this video of this coolie girl. See that? This is what I want. And you see even this O'Shea Duke Jackson, he is black like that guy on the picture, like the East African there. But he will portray his videos with this kind of color of this woman. They all do it. So Wesley Snipes is not American. Because he doesn't look like this girl. That's what I'm saying. When these people come and say, I am the real African, I'm from the continent. Are you this guy? Is he not from the continent? It's a phenotype. The phenotype is how certain people look. That's phenotype. Like if there is Afar people, if they tell you look African, there is a people group who have the name African as ethnicity. Long time ago or whenever. African or Afar. That's why you have Farrakhan, because Farrakhan considered himself to be mestizo, mixed, like the mixed North Africans over there, from Timbuktu area, from Mali, ancient Ghana, Americana. That's why you will see many of these Maurice science people will go there saying, I am Moroccan, man, and it was from the empire days, man, and those things. Many of these continental Africans so-called don't know those things because they were enslaved themselves after slavery in America. The Caucasian went there with the Berlin Conference thing and tried to destroy Africa completely. Even with these Liberian people, they brought Africans from America to Africa and from America to Sierra Leone. Yes. Did you know that they brought Africans from America to Africa? When they only telling you they brought Africans to America, they brought Africans to Africa also from America. Yes, it was a two-way street. They bring people to. That's why I was saying, why would Africans not be there before Caucasian came there? It was a Ghana Empire, where Mali is today. Used to be Ghana Empire, Timbuktu, the first university on the planet. Who lives there nowadays? Exactly, mixed people like in Brazil, this kind of people like these so-called black Americans. But Tariq Nasheed does not look like this girl. So they are ashamed of the way they look, of their phenotype. That is what it's all about. It's not about coming from the continent of Africa. It's because when you tell them you look like an African, they think you have big nose and you're black, you are extremely dark. That is their idea of many people. But I've shown you the phenotypes in Africa. Alright, let's see it, man. Let's hear it again, this part.
phenotype?
I like that unique phenotype. I will take it. I don't have no
Tribe.
Anuak.
What?
Anuak.
Anwak.
Yeah.
But I just typed it up. We do not look like
just
that.
like
I know.
Arawak.
A-N-U-A-K.
Anuak.
Is
You
this
see that?
like how you look? Is that your phenotype? Is that your phenotype?
I like that unique phenotype. I will take it. I don't have no problem with it.
I'm asking you if that's how you look.
You
Yes
said
or
we
no?
look
You're
the same,
on
bro.
the camera. It's not. What's wrong? I don't know what I did. I just showed you a picture.
Because
That's what came up.
I don't look the same like
There's a
Jamaican.
different one. Is this that? It's like there's a phenotype though. That's obvious. Is that your phenotype?
Yeah.
Okay. So you acknowledge that that's your phenotype.
Yeah, I acknowledge that. Yes.
Okay. It is a very unique look.
Yeah, it's very unique.
It's a very unique look. That's your phenotype, yes?
Come on, man. They don't look like no Jamaicans, man.
I see why. Okay, so that will be why they told you when you went to Jamaica that you didn't look Jamaican. Okay.
When I went to Jamaica.
You see that? When this guy went to Jamaica, he's Anuak. Like Arawak, he is Anuak, but he's from Africa. Just say. But then you hear what they said when he went to Jamaica. They said, hey, you don't look Jamaican. Because he looked more like a bushman with pure-blooded, because many Jamaicans are now mixed. Just like Brazil, there were 100 million so-called Africans in Brazil after slavery. Go now and watch, there is maybe 50 or 60 million left, pure-blooded Africans. Other ones were taken back, were taken from America to Africa, like Sierra Leone, Liberia. They was trying to go and conquer the African continent, and they would say Africans were never there, just like they saying about America. Because they told the Kenyan people, these so-called Muslims, Arabs, they told the people in Kenya there, I think it was Tanzania or one of these places, like, you are not from this continent, we brought you here. So the story about bringing Africans to somewhere is everywhere because it's a phenotype. Yeah, it's the way the people look. It doesn't mean you come from a place called Africa. This place called Africa is named after a people called Afar people or Afri people or whatever. The stupid one. And these people are all going around just like the FBA. They are all the same. All this Pan-Africanism thing is just FBA in a different skin. All racist devils going around think they're gonna con other races of people. We are the same people, and then come in your village or your house and then rob you, bring colonizer there and colonize your stuff. The Caucasian is coming to destroy you while they are working for the Caucasian. They are the colonizer. How can the children of the colonizer come and war me against the colonizer? If the black American has 30% Caucasian blood, how can they come and war me against the Caucasian? Because they have their blood, they are mixed. They are one people, they are the same race, even. Yeah,
that's
they are fair.
How you look. If that's how you look, I understand why they said that to you, okay?
But
because I've not seen that look in Jamaica. What I'm trying to understand, though,
I was the tallest in Jamaica. That's it. I'm 6'5". Everybody was coming to me.
Oh, so hold on, wait. So it was to do with your height, not that aesthetic that I just saw.
The height and even the look. I'm very dark. And I'm 6'5". Jamaican ladies were coming to me. I dated the Jamaican anyway.
Why are you telling me about what ladies did? Are you stand up there? Is it guys, let's get this to 35,000 by the time Azan.
So it's not because he's really dark. He looked like a bushman. Because you have, in the bushes you have, it's the same thing. These people are stupid. It's not about skin color. It's about your God. Your cultivation. If you're not cultivated by my God, you cannot be my race. Well, don't you understand? It's bloodline. A black American, that's why this girl is saying black British is being used to erase Caribbean identity. Yes, of course. Because if they say black British people created and dancehall music and reggae music, 50 years from now, a Dravidian from India or an Australian Aboriginal can get up and say, I created it because I am black and I have curly hair. Columbus, I saw curly hair people, black people in America, and I thought it was India. You see that? When you're stupid, you're stupid. That's why I am Okhano. Nobody can become Okhano because it's my ethnicity. Or anybody can become Surinamese tomorrow. Anybody can fly to Suriname and go to the government and take a passport and you are Surinamese. Even an alien can come from the moon or the sun or from Mars and go to Suriname and get a passport and now he's Surinamese. That's why here in the Netherlands when they ask me, hey, and are you Dutch? I have to no, I'm African from Amazon jungle, America. Born with a Dutch nationality in the jungle. That's it. Yeah, over here you cannot become Hollander. It's an ethnicity. You cannot become Hunebedebouwer. It's an ethnicity. You cannot become Limburger. It's an ethnicity. You cannot become Vlaming. It's an ethnicity of these Belgian people. You can become Belgian because it's a nationality. Just like these Israelites, stupid Israelites say, it's a nationality. If it's a nationality, Israelism is a nationality. There can be Chinese Israelites, there can be Japanese Israelites, there can be Caucasian Israelites, because it's a nationality. It's not an ethnicity. Nobody can become your ethnicity. They can only become a national of the country living there. but not the bloodline. Ethnicity denotes your bloodline. Real blood. Starring Nasheed blood, my blood, never. You stupid one. So I'm a and so you saw this guy was really ashamed of his phenotype.
DNA strand that they have found in West Africans that they can't.
So here is where they were speaking about this thing about Cameron. Let's check it if I see a piece of it.
Point to anybody else. And they don't know what Homo sapien type of thing it is.
Remember that 1% that is that on my team that says unknown?
It just came out. Scientists were like, they have a different strain. You can see the markers. What's wrong with you? That's the superpowers. Don't like. Why are you showing me? You know what? We're gonna step outside. Someone's gonna knit on us. We're gonna clear the gun.
So to Wakanda.
They didn't need to say it. It was late. Because the next minute they were chopping us up. They found it in blood. Don't eat it. She's joking. Joe's bad.
Silly Billy.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah, Wakanda forever. Sukali, you were so right. Even our struggle, like, we wasn't born here, coming over here from Africa.
It feels like this whole rhetoric with Americans being like, we're not African, it feels like we're going backwards in time. But I really am like, the rhetoric that he is spewing is really poisonous. When you even just think of modern day, what is taking place in South Africa, when xenophobia takes over, people die. And Black Americans feel, to me, very borderline on something's going to kick off. Like, to have somebody in his position talking down on Africans like that, I'm like, no, this is dangerous, you know?
It's been brewing for a while, though.
Yeah.
Like, they've been, like, doing this boycott Africans shop businesses in America. They've been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, because they, you know...
So you see what I mean? If this guy over there did not speak, you would not know if he's Nigerian or Jamaican or Black American, because it's a phenotype. Do you know by looking at that guy that he comes from the continent? No. If he was on the North Pole, they would say there is an African on the North Pole. Why? Because he looks like this guy. That's what I mean in my video. Ghana is an empire. Yeah, when I say Ghana empire, all these Nigerians were there. These people are stupid. Or maybe not stupid, maybe just evil. But anyways, man, let's see it.
Like, they feel like, it almost reminds me, like, it's kind of similar to what we had a conversation, like, in terms of even our struggle, like, we wasn't born here, coming over here from Africa, like, and some of the experiences were with some of the Caribbeans and stuff like that, where it's like, we went through the struggle and everything over here, you guys have come over here, and it's like, you're not understanding what we've had to go through. So that's that's like their disposition in terms of like, yo, we've had to fight all of this, our ancestors was brought.
Yes, even I say that about Suriname, about Coolie coming there and all these city Negroes coming to the jungle. I say the same thing, but I'm not making videos every day attacking them. They are the one coming to me saying, you need to become Afro. You need to lose your identity. So you are the colonizer. Because that was the plantation all about, erase identity and culture and give them a fake culture. Real talk. So this FBA so-called want you to become like them. That's the difference between what I say and what they say. I'm not out here claiming people anything. I have my paper and
whatever, but we're not the same as you. You guys have come here now, owning businesses and doing whatever it is. You don't support us because they feel like Africans that migrate over, wherever it might be, whenever there's like a black movement or whatever's going on, they stay out of it.
Nah, they don't.
They just mind their business because they've got businesses, they've got things to protect. But whenever it's time to be black and do whatever, oh yeah. So I feel like that's the root cause of where it's coming from. But again, I feel like there's like a miseducation there where they're missing the bigger picture. Because at the end of the day, as black in general, like we're trying to move forward. And this is like to the people, to our oppressors, this is funny.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Do you understand what I'm talking about? This is
their plan.
Do you know what I'm talking about? This is hilarious to them. They're sitting back and just smoking their cigars and look at them. Literally.
But do you think this is probably some parts of America?
It's wide.
When I say some parts of America, yeah, it's like if you talk about how we got London, London is very multicultural. Like,
yeah.
You can go to another city. If you talk America, if you're talking like Houston, that's like, I don't think I can hear someone coming from Houston talking like that.
No,
so do you feel like that part of
because
it's widely spread?
What we have to be very careful. We talk about this a lot on this pod.
Okay.
And first of all, they're going to be like, "Look again, you're talking about us again." But no, I think it's pockets of people. There's mindsets across America, across the UK, across the world.
This is what I meant. This woman and this guy got Wesley Snipes type of style of look and their color. Are they not American? Because these people are also in Suriname. They live in the jungle over there. Even in Paramaribo, Bakabusi Negro, some of them might look like this. Those who are not mixed. That's what I mean, because there are these Gulaguchi, many of them Gulaguchis are not mixed. They live in America, so they are not American. If an American is this woman here. Do the Gulaguchi look like this? Exactly. Erasing of the, and they will say they are erasing them. That's what I mean by them being the devil. And then come out and say, you're using white supremacist talking point. How can I use white supremacist talking point if I live in the jungle and have no television? If I live in trees, because Africans live in trees, right? Where did he learn white supremacy talking point from? Oh, from you. Thought so. Real talk. Let's skip it, man. Let's hear a small part and then I'm gonna skip it.
There are some people that have differences of opinion of what blackness means to them and who owns the right to the word black.
I mean,
the word black. So I think that I don't think it's just maybe if you're not from Houston, you're going to say Cameron's from New York or lives in New York. And
he should be around.
He should be more learned. And I'm actually like, okay, if you don't want to claim Africa, for whatever reason, if you don't want to claim Africa, you feel you're Black American, you can trace your generations back, and you don't want to go back to Africa, have at it. We now kind of understand there's this movement where this is what we're accepting. It's the shitting on and having very lazy conversations about Africa. Like to say that you went to Africa and Africa stinks, or all 454 countries.
Exactly.
Did your brethren go to Africa? Or did you go to one place, one club, one moment where maybe someone was must?
Have you been to
New York where someone is?
Not even that. Because this is what the Caucasian used to tell them. The colonizer used to say that on the plantation to them. You have go back to Africa. You Africa Buddhist scratcher. It's what they were saying to these Black Americans. I know it. Because it is what they used to tell the so-called city Negroes from the plantation in Suriname. They still live on the plantation today. They got it from the colonizer or they had to buy it or whatever. Just like the 40 acres and a mule in North America. It was the same in Suriname. So they still live there on this plantation, you know, and the names that the Caucasian will give them, they will try to apply it to the people living in the interior, the inlanders. And they view inlanders as Africans because most inlanders are not mixed. If they are mixed with these Native American, these Sambo looking. Okay, many of these days, some of them are more mixed, but it's because they go to Paramaribo, these inlanders. These bush people, they will go to the city and then they become mixed. But if you go to the jungle, most people look like this, like these people here in South American jungle, even Jamaica. Because if this guy said he was a Jamaican, he was just like Buju Banton. This is how a real Jamaican looks to me. The way I know them, not this look here. This is how American used to look to me when they said they were African American. I don't view Farrakhan as African American. He's mixed. He's a mestizo or mulatto or whatever he is. That's why he's saying he's Asiatic, African, and Afro-Asiatic, mixed African. See? So he is correct about those things. I'm gonna skip it to the next.
On the surface, they're gonna, if they see a black man, they may target you, but that does not mean
Oh
that
yeah, this was a part of Danfo Diners or whatever. He says he's in Nigeria or whatever, but there was a feed about him, and they were speaking about Kofi Annan going into a barber shop, and they said they're not treating no Negro there, and he said, I'm not a Negro, I'm a Ghanaian, and then they helped him. It's true. It's like when I say, no, I'm not a Negro, I'm Okhano from the jungle. Immediately everything changed. These Negroes don't know that. At first sight, they will attack you like, you are a Negro. But as soon as they know, like, oh no, man, this is another one, it's from the jungle, or it is an African. Because they have representation in the world. They do business with Africans. Yeah. If they attack Kofi Annan, they will have trouble doing business with Ghana. You don't have those leverages. You have nothing but hip-hop, sampling music and those stuff, and playing basketball. Something happened to you, they place another guy there. Let's hear it.
Really going to, just be treated the same exact way. I'll go ahead and pass the mic now.
All right, let me pass the mic to Kidola. Go ahead, Kidola.
In America, but I'm just saying that it's not to the same as being weed smokers, as being people who are just degenerate. But with them, people respect them a lot more.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would. I mean, then.
But yeah, he gets to do
how many like they ought to be. So I'll land there.
All right, can I say something right quick?
No, let him say something. I'll pass it to you, Dre. Go ahead, him.
All right, thank you. I want to address Kidola and CD. For Kidola, he say when they go to Europe and America and they meet white people, they get treated better. What I want to know is, do you apply your previous experience in colonialism to white people, what they did to your people in Africa, as far as like stripping you of your country's names and renaming you Ghanaian, Nigerian, robbing you? You don't apply none of that to them. You just give them a fresh slate and just see them as a whole different people. And then the Black Americans, we don't have that history. I mean, they could say we did that in Liberia. That's like a big rumor that we somehow enslaved the Liberians, but pretty much we don't have the same derogatory history in Africa, yet they come and project negativity on us. You say the Puerto Ricans and the white women treat them good as if they have no history of white people in Africa. It's like that's the first time they met them. And what CD was saying was black people are hating on them. Now, if CD, you need to learn our history and our culture. To be called a hater is like the worst thing you could be called. Like that's like a baller blocker, player hater. That's really a person that's jealous of a person that got money, stunned. You just sitting back broke and dusty, and you just jealous and just sabotaging. Like I don't think it's that's a false equivalency to say that you just stunting and balling on us that hard that we sitting back dusty just hating on you, and as if we didn't really provide the opportunities for you to get this money and education. Like if we're the catalyst for you to get this education and this access in America, how can you possibly be ever above us for us to be sitting back jealous? And you say there's no cities in America that black people run. Chicago, the second biggest city ran by black people. Cook County, the biggest county I think in America, is ran by black people. You talking about there's no cities that
over there? How many people die in a day over there?
Chicago is a million times better than anything in Africa. But I would say
how many people die over there?
How many people die in Africa?
I can tell you.
You should be ashamed of yourself to even make.
But regardless of that, Chicago's ran by black people. But I would say this though: there's many cities.
How many people get killed?
Hold on. There's many cities that your precious white people destroyed. Listen, you say there's no cities that we was able to do. There was many cities in America, what they call it, the Red Summers, Tulsa, Rosewood, that we literally built from the ground up. That your precious white people destroyed. You say they built it. Hold on. Why can I make my statement, man? You can talk about
all the black city that I know about, liberal black people. Your chaotic city that you guys have run in this country.
Listen, there was segregation. Hold on, why this dude interrupted me? Why is he interrupting me? There was Jim Crow segregation. You talking about Detroit, Chicago, Gary, cities that is part of the United States of America. We built cities separate from that your precious white people didn't bail out. You say they bail us out. They burnt our cities to the ground. In Lake Lanier is a city that they flooded in Georgia.
What's
Georgia,
the name of the
they
city?
they put a dam up and flooded the whole city. Like there's many cities that we built.
He's talking about Lake Lanier.
Right, it's a lake that they.
So you hear every time these guys so-called unite is about who built what and who's bigger than who. That's why I'm saying if you're great, there is no space for other to join you. That is being great. Okay. If you are great, you are able. If you are able, you need nothing else to come and join you because you are able. Otherwise, you are not able. The only thing I see these so-called Pan-Africans and so-called Black Americans are able to do is go out and say, I am African, give me money. I'm Pan-African, give me money. I'm Black American, give me reparations. I am 30% Caucasian, I'm mixed, man. You walking on the street, know that you learned that from the Black American. If you're talking, you're speaking, you got that from us, man. We built the pyramids, we were everywhere, we were even in Cambodia and China. We built all those things, man. We are the Naga of Cambodia. Yeah, I know. Sickness. I've just shown you how many phenotypes there are. So they are the only one. They are a different phenotype than all those people, but they built all those people. They built all those statues and structures that you see in ancient time. While your ancestry started 250 years ago in 1776. There was no world and culture before that. I know. Live in a stolen
It's a
ground.
cursed lake right now, in which when the white people go there, they be dying. But that lake is built on top of a black city that they literally flooded. There's many cities that we built that the white people didn't bail out, like you claim.
You can't just say something like that in a vacuum.
You see, this guy heard me speaking about them being cursed people, that my ancestors cursed those people from the 5 civilized tribes and the black hunters from the plantation who were working for the Caucasian. And now you see, it's just like Philip Scott did the same thing. So they have no substance. The more you do that, the more I know you really have no culture. Yeah, it's right on point, nigga. Real talk, because your other brothers over there from the plantation in the city, Syrian, they do the same thing. If they see somebody with the yellow shoes, they will attack those guys with the yellow shoes and then go and take those yellow shoes as if it was theirs. Let me find that part where this African was saying what is happening is they are sick, jealousy sick of other people's success. Because if you see, if the Caucasian has success, they are fine with it. Coolies, Indians have success, fine. The soon as it is someone who they identify as their color, you black like me, why do you have money? And they will come and try to rob your store or break your things off. They are born devils. To me they are, maybe not to you, but I know them, you don't. There are 500 years attacks in the South American jungle from plantation Negroes, black hunters, and 5 civilized so-called tribes to Guyana Native Americans and those Aramacanos, Angola crew, all those things, boaters. You don't know. Nigga, real talk.
How many cities in America that have been run by black men that not been run down? And when it cracks all these cities, they run into the hand of white men to build them out. I never seen any city that's been run by black men in America that have any such story. None. So, but yeah, I'll leave for now. But thank you, Donald. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to.
No problem.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Skywalker.
Okay, I would first of all, greetings to the panel. I would like to start off with just asking a rhetorical question, and somebody can just give me an answer to this. What does the word race mean? Can somebody tell me what they think? Yeah, the word race.
Race, yeah.
What does it mean?
I mean, a competition. I would consider that to be a competition.
Okay, thank you. No, that's what I want. That's the answer I wanted, right? Because the word race means competition. And thank you, brother. You know, I mean, this is a panel of intellect, so you know, you gave the right answer. But you know, when I'm talking to an ordinary black person, when I ask them what the word race is, they always tell me that it's, you know, got something to do with your skin color or skin tone. But usually when I ask somebody who is non-black what the word race is, the first thing that they say is competition. And so I started to realize.
Exactly, that's why I'm saying you are not my race, because your ancestors were the black hunters fighting against my race. Just what my people were fighting for, your people were trying to stop that, just like you, these Caucasians and coolies and Negroes trying to stop my stuff on internet. Even people from the jungle trying to do so. So all this sadness, we were slavery, and then Second World War and Gaza, I don't care. Real talk. Nigga?
Well, hold on. Everybody seems to understand that the word race means competition, right? Except black people, right? And I actually think it's more beneficial for black people to think of themselves instead of members of a race, to think of yourselves as players of a race, players on a team, because that's exactly what you are. And we're the only race that walks around, or the only team.
Yes, they are players of the team, and sometimes those players are playing for the colonizer team. That's why they made up the story that Africans sold their own people. Why didn't they sell their direct brothers and sisters? Because it was war, it's not their people. Those people, guys, brothers of Joseph who sold them into slavery, are not his brother, because they are jealousy sick of him. Why didn't they sell themselves? Exactly, because they didn't view him as one of them. Keep it real, nigga. Something that is attacking me is not my race. It's real like that. Because all these Pan-Africans, all they do is say, the Caucasian is coming to attack all of us. We are all in the same predicament. And then they will run into your house. When you wake up, your house is empty and they're gone with everything. That is these Pan-Africans and these black Americans. They misuse the grievance of the ancestors to come and scam people like Polite and Umar Johnson and all these guys. Sanetter.
Say that walks around constantly dividing ourselves up into all these other small teams, when all the other races seems to, understand and operate, for that matter, as one unit, right? And
if they operate as one unit, why is Ukraine and Russia fighting? Don't they look the same? Are they not the same people? If they all united, why is Pakistan and India fighting? Don't they look the same? Why is China and Taiwan fighting? Don't they look the same? Why was there a Bali war in Indonesia? Don't they look the same? Why did Moluccas fight against Japanese people in Indonesia? They look the same? Yes. So all this foolishness, we are not united, those are united. I didn't see it. Because I've seen Iran attacking Saudi Arabia, but they are all Muslims, right? Thought so. So it's foolishness, yeah? You think you're saying anything, but you're saying really nothing. You ain't really saying anything. The problem is that your people cannot be trusted. That's what I'm saying. That's why I keep saying your culture is not my culture. I do not even acknowledge you. So how would I acknowledge your culture? Why would I acknowledge the enemy of my ancestors in anything? I'm too busy with my own thing, fixing my life. That is important. I just make videos and speak on my things, man. These stupid Negroes will go, you have to speak this. Nigga, not where I come from. And there is nothing or anything you think you're doing here, fighting videos like this Caucasian is foolery. You have to be alive to continue do all these things. Never forget that. You have to be alive to continue all the attacks. Real talk.
But African Americans, and well, black people in general. I'm not going to say African Americans, but black people in general. Not just because the FBA sect ain't no different than the Hutus and the Tutsis, or the Ashantis and yada yada yada, or any type of.
Oh yeah, what is their name? They had the Ashantis and slavery even in the 15th century, in the days of Tatao Confanoche. What was their name? Adentra. Yeah, the Adentra had the other ones in slavery. Yes, go look it up. Ashantis were enslaved in Africa. Before all you saying, yeah, Ashantis slaved the people, is because they were doing the same thing, creating an empire again. Just like the old Ghana Empire was. Before that, the Adintra tried to do it by what they do it in. These people have no brain. An empire is just go around and conquering everything around the globe, just like Genghis Khan. Might makes right, just like Trump is doing now. I have weapons, you don't. I'm taking your territory. That's it. I'm taking Greenland. I'm taking Canada. Because I can. You have nothing. You cannot fight me. You see that? That is what FBA think they doing when you see all these videos being promoted. It's the same thing. They are qualified racists officially. Yeah, they cannot be a victim any longer because they now have resources to attack other so-called groups of races of people they consider not to be their race. Because they don't consider Africans and Caribbeans to be their race. They're just out here and faking it. Be in the diaspora. How can you be a diaspora of mine when you are delineated? How can a Chinese be my diaspora unless I accept nationality of Suriname? If I come out here and say, yes, I'm a Surinamese guy or whatever, then coolies from India and Chinese are also my brother. That's what Surinamese people mean when they talk to me. Like, you have to make the video that you are Surinamese. And the moment I do that, a Hindu from India can come and say, we are the same people, man. You are Surinamese, right? So am I. Here is my passport. I'm Surinamese. You see that? That is what I mean when I speak. It had nothing to do with you. When I speak, we don't mix with people. It's because of our God, because of God of my house. Because you are cursed. We do not mix with cursed lineages. We do not acknowledge your God. We do not acknowledge Israeli God or these guys, their Muslim God or whatever Buddha God. Your Allah is not my Allah. Your Jesus is not my Jesus. Yeah. Your thinking is not my thinking. Your house is not my house. When you go to the city, you go back to your own house because you know the rules in your house. I do not know the rules in your house, nor I want to know them because I'm too busy with my own house. If you fix your own house, then everybody can be in peace. If everybody is functioning the way they're supposed to in a football team, in a soccer team, the team will win, or they will equalize the game because it will function. If the light on the car decides like, hey, I will not be the light on the car, man. I will become the wheel. What is the wheel supposed to do? Is the wheel supposed to say, okay, I'm gonna be a light? Maybe the wheel does not want to be a light. It just wants to function. This function is being a wheel on the car. If the light wants to be a wheel, then they have a problem. They have to move away from the car and find another car. Understand that, FBA? You have delineated. That's what I'm saying. You're not part of my race, maybe a part of these guys on the continent. I am continental South American. I'm also continental South America African. Amazon jungle. Yeah, that's 1620, 60 treaty. Go look it up. Real talk. I'm going to play a small part left and then I'm going to leave it at that. This was this guy done for... I keep saying down for what is this guy name again? Dynasty or whatever.
Or any type of example that we can think of black people who look exactly alike, who share the same history, social and political experience for the most part, right? Even though the different flavors of colonialism might.
Let me say it right here. If you guys were there with Martin Luther King and he got assassinated, why would any other continental African or South American trust any black American? When you could not even keep your own safe. Better yet, you are the one who turned him in. You stupid. That's what I'm saying, Umar Johnson. Understand that? There is never a moment in life that my people would trust something like Umar Johnson or Polite or whatever you bringing and TD Jakes or whatever you think you're bringing to speak anything. Because to me, you are the Caucasian, the scammer colonizer. You have no idea that there is races out there who have their own alphabet, just like the Chinese, they have their own New Year. You cannot go to the Chinese people and tell them, listen man, I'm a psychologist and this New Year you're celebrating is the wrong New Year because I've got all the answers here for you. You've been living 5,000 years here in China, but I was from the plantation for 250 years ago and I supreme, I am this and you know, understand? You wouldn't do those things because the Chinese will chop your head off immediately. Saying, are you sick? Go to the Igbo and go tell the Igbo they have their own counting of the week. These Yoruba people, they have their own counting. Like you say, you are busy with. I've even seen Russian Caucasian people with Ifa from Nigeria. And when I tell these people, this Caucasian, where they get all these things, they think it's a joke. I can show you maybe tomorrow I will find it, where Russian people, Caucasian, are doing the so-called Ifa culture of their Ifa Nigerian gods. Yes, in my culture it's impossible. That's why I say they are a different race of people. Their God is different. Because in my culture you can't. Because you're not my bloodline. That's why I keep saying in my culture you cannot go out there and say I'm calling up on Ogun or Shango. Because a Shango does not acknowledge you have your own Shango in your bloodline. Yeah. Let's hear it and then we'll leave it at that, man.
You know, different nuance examples, right? You know, like in apartheid, the colonial system they experienced there is slightly different from the segregation example of colonialism that Black Americans experienced amongst a majority of white people, where the apartheid was amongst a minority of white people.
It will never become anything because all these so-called people, because to me they are devil in disguise. All they do is compare their stories. Yeah, my story was this great. It was worse than yours, and but we was the strongest. It was worse, but we was strongest yet, stronger than you are. But yours was not. If theirs was not that bad, then it would be easier for them to get out of it, wouldn't it? Logically. So if you say your slavery was this bad and that bad, probably accept your circumstances, what happened to you, and move on. If you wanna rebuild, you rebuild. You don't wanna rebuild, nobody cares, because many of you was army people of the colonizer, black hunters. Go look at the 5 civilized tribes. They called you civilized because you are in their training. You are a GMO African. Yeah. Dr. Ignatius, you are a GMO Negro, a GMO African, created on a plantation. That's what you don't understand. Even Umar Johnson doesn't understand it, though he is a psychologist. Yes, Umar Johnson is a fine psychologist in the world of the colonizer. He's a fine black psychologist speaking out there. Where I come from in my culture, he's nothing. He won't even say that, because the first thing they would say is, this guy does not take care of his daughter and his children, man. It's over. Yes, really. If you go to where my people live and you tell them this guy does not take care of his daughter, of his children, or his daughter, man, even if you are the president, they will kick you out. Like, what, are you sick? So you're not taking care of your children? Get out. That is what's gonna happen. You wouldn't even get the chance to be a psychologist or to psychologize anybody there. That's what I mean. We have rules, we have law, real law. If you and consequential law, yeah, your God is non-consequential. That's what I mean. Our God, my God of my house, is consequential. That's the difference. You could never be my race of people. Because the only thing your people will say is, I don't believe in that. If it was on your belief before anything, if it was dependent on what you people out there say you believe for anything to work, nothing would work in this life. Because your people have no belief. Otherwise, you would have gotten out the first day before you was on a plantation even. If you was that great, you would have broken the chains before you was across the ocean, if the story is true. Because you could take people from North America to South America, or South America to North America, and tell them you took them across the ocean. Just like I was showing you, they were taking Jamaicans and people from Curacao and all these places, Brasilia, and bringing them to North America. Go look the slave voyages. Yeah, let's say a small part left and then leave it there.
We get that, right? We get we get the different wars and all the different, experiences of black people. But all of those things that we've experienced are a result of our confrontation or our different collective experiences with colonialism. And what I find is that like one of the brothers got on here and said, yeah, like Kofi Annan walked into a bar and they said, we don't serve niggas here. And he said, I'm not a nigga, I'm a Ghanaian. And instead of him realizing that the white man saw him as any other black person, right? He instead said what the black man said that
he does realize that what he's saying by saying he's not a Negro is by saying, I'm not from the plantation, I'm not from your factory, I'm not a slave. Because you don't understand, back in the days, in the treaty, my race is not allowed to be enslaved. It's in the treaties of back in 1620. You don't understand this thing. If anybody, the colonizer would capture, even today, if I go to French Guyana, I even went there, the colonizer saw me, they were with big guns on the river. Because where I live is 10 minutes and you are in a different country. It's not different, it was the same place, but they stole it also. So it's called French Guyana. This so-called people from Paris, these soldiers, they were on a boat. They came there, they saw me. I don't, who are you? Papier, blah, blah. I'm Maroon, my village is there. And then I called my grandfather name, like, I'm grandchild of this guy, this name, blah, blah. And they say, oh, you're from the village. Oh, you go, ale. Because Maroon people don't have to have passport in my territory. They know them as jungle people of history. Like, these people are just in the jungle, they're living their life. That it wasn't what it used to be until now. It's not even till now, because first thing they did after slavery and after the black hunters, they sent Bouterse, because Bouterse was trained just like Bin Laden in the Netherlands. But Bin Laden is not trained in the Netherlands, but I mean he was a soldier of the colonizer. Just like they say Bin Laden was CIA, Bouterse is also the AIVD of the Netherlands. So the Netherlands sent him on a secret mission to Suriname, like, go and conquer Suriname back for us and get these people out of this jungle, because where I live there is gold and all these things, riches and resources. That's why they want to get my people out of the jungle. But anyway, they send this Bouterse there, but the Bouterse is mixed Native Americans and African and Dutch. This is all kind of mixed pieces, man. So he went there and he took the country and said, because he's Native American mix, it is his country, because he's a black Indian, so-called, because black Indians are really just mixed Africans with Native Americans and Caucasian or whatever. It's like kind of mestizo, like Farrakhan look, because Farrakhan is a mestizo, I think, or half blood, I'm not sure, whatever. Bouterse went there, he took the country back with you hear about December killings, December murder and those things. He took the country back, but then he decided to keep it for himself, because he's like, no, I'm a Native American mix, and this is my country, I'm a black Indian. And he will tell you he's not African. He will tell you the same thing these people, many Surinamese people from plantation will tell you, I'm not African, I'm a black Indian. Yes. They will tell you this story. It's real. It's not this because this so-called FBA got it from the South Americans and from the Moorish Science Temple, because the Moorish Science Temple used to say the same thing. But in history, like real on the mainland Suriname, there is people there who will tell you that they are not Africans, they are black Indians. They will not say black Indians, they will say they are Indian, but they look like an African or they look mixed. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, all these things these people are there claiming. Columbus never went to United States, Tariq Nasheed. That's really the bottom line of many of these things. All your claims that you were, I've shown you Lucia here is Brazil. All your claims. This will, you see the Papuas, you don't have Afro like this Papuas, like this girl from England claiming. This is you. Is your Afro bigger than this Papua? No. See that? Oh, this is Carla. You see this? And this is Lucia. You see that? Do you look like Lucia? No, you don't. You see that? Do you look like this woman? These are the first people of the Americas, they say. When I was saying they are more aboriginal look, Papua style mix. See that? So, but anyways, man. But but anyways, go do your own research on that. I will listen to the last part and then leave it at that.
Oh, I'm not a nigga. I'm a Ghanaian. Yeah, I would have said the same thing. I'm not a. First of all, what is it? I'm not a nigga. Any other black person, right? He instead said with colonialism, and what I find is that like well, like different experiences of black people, but all of those things that we've experienced are a result of our confrontation or our different collective experiences with colonialism. And what I find is that like one of the brothers got on here and said, yeah, like Kofi Annan walked into a bar and they said we don't serve niggas here, and he said I'm not a nigga, I'm a Ghanaian. And instead of him realizing that the white man saw him as any other black person, right? He instead said what the black man said. He said that, oh, I'm not a nigga, I'm a Ghanaian. Yeah, I would have said the same thing. And I'm not first of all, what is it now? I'm not a nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Ghanaian. I'm gonna say,
saying it, man.
You know what I mean?
You saying that N-word, man.
But I mean, that's what he said. He said the N-word. Well, I was just quoting what he said. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, but instead, you ought to look at that experience, my brother.
So guys, when it comes to the N-word, if it's in context, it's fine. So that was definitely context.
Okay.
But the guy who mentioned it in context said N-word. He didn't say the whole thing. He said N-word.
That's why I shut my comments down in these videos, man. You see that? This guy Dinus, he's got a rule on his channel. You're not allowed to use this Negro word and N-word, these kind of things. But this was they have no contextual thinking skills, man. They have no comprehension skill. It's forbidden, but he's telling you a story about something that happened. That's why it's allowed. He's not putting down people, because it's about if you're putting down people, then it's forbidden mostly on YouTube. If you're trying to hurt people without them doing anything to you. If somebody is attacking you, you can come out and explain yourself. But what he's doing even here is explain what happened, a story that happened. So it's not about him. So these guys and this guy understand that the one is he's saying the N-word. Nigga, shut up. That's why I don't talk to these so-called black people, man. The stupidity of comprehension of these people is zero, man. He's using the N-word. Yes, it's forbidding, but he's just telling you a story. Then it's allowed. Contextual. Man, it's like this thing. You see, I have to write it down now. African is a phenotype, because I see that many even continental Africans don't know that this Caucasian went around the world calling everybody African, because they look like a tribe in this place you call Africa today, not because of the place. It's because there was a tribe there who looked this way like I look there. You see me there, back there, because there was people there on the continent who looked like that. When they came to South America, they saw me there and said, hey, this guy, they got the West African phenotype. That's what happened. Not because specially they took people from Africa. Yes, they went and took people from Africa, but they took people also from America to Africa. Did you know that? Go and ask them. This same Caucasian went to America and took Africans from America there and brought them to Africa. Maybe there was nobody in Africa, I could say, and everybody was taken from America by the Caucasian and brought to Africa, and everybody that is in Africa today should return back to America immediately. You see that? Just like Marcus Garvey, but the other way around. I can make that claim also, because they took people to Liberia and Sierra Leone from America. Who knows where places they took more Africans from America to. that they didn't tell you. Nigga? You stupid. Let's hear it, man.
Okay, well, I mean, but like Donnie said, I was mentioning in the context. I wasn't using it in a derogatory manner, bro. But anyway, like I was saying, I mean, the word's gonna always be, but anyway, going back to what I was saying, you know, but instead, you ought to look at that experience, my brother.
So guys, when it comes to the N-word, if it's in
and they said we don't serve niggas here, and he said I'm not a nigga, I'm a Ghanaian. And instead of him realizing that the white man saw him as any other black person, right, amongst a majority of white people, where the apartheid was amongst a minority of white people. So we get that, right? We get the different wars and all the different, you know, experiences of black people. But all of those things that we've experienced are a result of our confrontation or our different collective experiences with colonialism. And what I find is that like one of the brothers got on here and said, yeah, you know, like Kofi Annan walked into a bar and they said we don't serve niggas here, and he said I'm not a nigga, I'm a Ghanaian. And instead of him realizing that the white man saw him as any other black person, right? He instead said what the black man said that, oh, I'm not a nigga, I'm a Ghanaian. Yeah, I would have said the same thing. I'm not first of all, what is it? I'm not a nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Ghanaian. I'm going to say, you know what I mean?
Keep saying that N-word, man.
But I mean, that's what he said. He said the N-word. No, well, I was just quoting what he said. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, you know, but instead, you ought to look at that experience, my brother.
So guys, when it comes to the N-word, if it's in context, it's fine. So that was definitely context.
Okay.
But the guy who mentioned it in context said N-word. He didn't say the whole thing. He said N-word.
Okay, well, I mean, but like Donnie said, I was mentioning in the context. I wasn't using it in a derogatory manner, bro. But anyway, like I was saying, I mean, the word's gonna always be derogatory. Let me not say that. But you know, I wasn't saying it. I wasn't aiming it at anybody, nothing like that. But okay, so going back to what I was saying, what the brother should have been viewing that whole experience of Kofi Annan and the owner of the bar. He should have been trying to view it from the perspective of the white person in his perspective, because the white person just saw him as a black dude, as an N-word, right? You know, whether or not he was from Africa or from America. So that actually means they actually do the same thing as the African. But instead, he chose to view it from from a nationalistic perspective, because that's how Kofi Annan was viewing himself. He identified himself with the nation he came from rather than just the ethnicity of being an African. But that doesn't mean that you were separate people. And you can't take the experiences. I mean, you're taking experiences and different things that happen to black people and using that as a way to delineate, because that's the only way you can delineate. I mean, you can't delineate physically because you look exactly like the African. You know what I mean? So the only way you're trying to find the only means of delineation that they're trying to seek from is the different experiences that you know what I'm saying, that they might have had from the African or the Caribbean might have had from us. So we're not the same because, you know, the white man, you know, did this to you and they did this to us. You know what I mean? You know, like I say, and that's how you know that all of this is a fabrication, because the extent and the lengths that these people.
Exactly, man. That's why I was saying, and I don't want to know their history, because these people, only thing they do is we're gonna unite, and when they come together, yeah, man, my story is worse, man. It's the same thing like they have with jail. If you say I was 2 years in jail, man, when I was for 20, man, when I was there for 200, man, I was there for 5,000, and that's what they keep doing. So comparing themselves with each other, and at the end, and no solution. Yeah, man, it's sad. I know.
To the, you know what I'm saying, to try to find a difference, you know, it's not even genuine at all. I mean, it's obvious that it's fabricated and it's designed, you know, to support, you know, just useless debates among black people, so they won't be, you know, moving more towards unity like they ought to, or like they ought to be. So I'll land there.
All right, can I?
Yeah, man, that's the real talk, because many of these so-called black Americans will say, well, what will I get if I go back to Africa? Man, do you expect anything when you're going back home? When you're going to your house? Coming from the street? No, because you're just going to your house. It's not about getting anything or whatever, you're just going home. That's it. Whatever you're gonna do after that is up to you. Yeah, I know, man. I'm gonna leave it at that. You've heard it? Yeah, it's sad, man. Fake black Americans tarik na shit, jaren. Columbus was never in United States of America. He was in Haiti Española. So if there is anybody who is American by the narrative of Columbus discovering America, it would be Española people and the Haitian and Venezuela people, Caribbean. Real talk. Stop stealing people's history, man. I know you don't have one. Make your history without involving my people, Maroon people. Maroon people live in a compound. They are all from South America. A compound, Palenque, Quilombo, Njuka. Are you part of those people? No. When I hear these people say a compound, these things, I imagine, oh yeah, it's has to do with those things of my ancestors or whatever. It doesn't mean I have to go there and say, we are brothers now, man. I'm your big brother. No, it's just a notion. That's it. It's just a notion, man. Hey, there is phenotypically people like you over there. Oh, okay, man. That's it. All these people they are making a big deal of we have to come and unite. And though most of these people, it was in the beginning, everybody thought, yeah, man, even I was making videos. But after a while, you see it's just a scam to come out. I'm a Pan-Africanist, man. Give me money, man. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. You've seen it, you've heard it, man. Yeah, what else, man? Fake black Americans, Tariq Nasheed. You faking it. Yeah,